Greetings, I am Lies.
And I am Scandal.
And let's play a game together.
Yes.
Alright, so welcome back to episode 3 of My Hero 1's Justice.
Yes.
Where we are sharing opinions and such, and it is my turn to hold the controller.
Is it
again.
actually?
No, it's actually yours.
It's actually mine.
It's yours. It's
I was
my
gonna say,
it's my
it should be
friend.
mine.
I say it's my friend.
I
So
get
it is
to- I
Scandal's
get to-
turn. So in hopes that we will
Hodoroki.
both get good at this game, in hopes we're going to be handing the controller back
we
and
might
forth.
be really bad at this, honestly, from going back and forth.
Honestly,
so we'll see.
even though the buttons are technically the same because they taught us all the tricks with Deku, these are all your button moves, there is still this experience of going, all of their moves that are produced are different.
Yeah.
So they all have different applications in reference to how far away they interact and all that kind of thing. And or whether they're in the air.
I'm also not
So-
getting them entirely because it doesn't feel like the build up to it is very...
Anyway, each of the characters fight
That's fine.
very, very differently, which honestly is accurate to the
Yeah.
book and show. However,
Midoriya.
it makes it hard to learn.
Honestly, I laughed about this because I also then went, oh my god, they used the pin drop!
He just dropped the
Good
pin.
job! Like, I have actually gotten really tired sometimes of modern series, basically, where they go, oh yeah, no, this isn't a big deal, and you go, no, it's actually a really huge deal.
He looks so
You
young
know,
all of a
like,
sudden.
they should be using this gear, this tech.
So just
It doesn't-
recently, I learned how to drop a pin in Google, and if you don't know what that is, because again, I didn't know what it was, it's a super cool function where no matter where you are, if there's no venue or anything, as long as Google Maps exists, you can just drop a pin and the other person can travel towards that pin. And so your location becomes a location.
Okay, real fast. I want to complain.
Okay.
So I'm sorry. I know for me personally, I have a lot more complaints about the English version of this anime than I do the Japanese version, but Todoroki sounds like such an old man in English.
Oh,
He sounds like he's about a 27, 28-year-old man.
Okay.
And I am just
Anyway.
dying. Okay, I'm fine.
It is interesting sometimes to experience the experiences. Watch out.
Which is fine.
Don't let him catch you bleeding. You know what? It'd be really great to have somebody who doesn't bleed fight Stain.
Honestly,
Like who just doesn't have blood.
actually,
On
we
the
had
other
that
hand,
question going, does Cementos bleed?
I have asked that. So Cementos is someone I have thought about a lot as far as characters are concerned. Like when I think about the various different background characters in Boku no Hero, I think about Cementos frequently and going, he is one of, in my opinion, the least human heroes there are because he seems to be made of concrete.
Yeah,
now he
kinda.
does have what looks like a flesh mouth inside of his face, which I think would be interesting biologically. Like I think that would be some really interesting taxonomy kind of thing. But going, okay, how much of a natural person are you? If you can you one, get cracked or scraped, and two, do you bleed or are you all cement? Can you heal yourself by creating more cement? Like, what are your limitations? What all can you do? Additionally, it doesn't seem like he can only move cement. It seems like he can also move like dirt and asphalt and things, which I think is interesting. He's basically an earth mover. Earthbender. There we go. Cementos the earthbender. But I was wondering if you've got someone like Stain, if in fact Cementos did not have blood, could Stain do anything against him?
Right.
And that's the question. You have a quirk, but mostly you're just Batman if nobody, if you can't cut somebody. Because you can't do anything other than be strong and have, like, support items, And so I think that's interesting where you have people going, I have this hero quirk or I have this villain quirk or whatever. But if you can't, for some reason, apply your quirk to the person in question, then you are essentially a person without a quirk.
Right.
And you're a quirkless person fighting a person with a quirk. And I find that very, very interesting. So that's one of the things I think about a lot. Also, I assume that Cementos spent way more time doing infrastructure repair than he ever did, like, fighting or rescuing or anything like that. Because, like, look at these buildings, my dude. Like, just look at these buildings.
Bad. Though, honestly, I love the fact that they did actually get in trouble for this in the anime of, like, you did cause damage.
And
you guys were really bad about this, so,
And the thing is it is really important to not cause infrastructure damage. And honestly, I think it's freaking hilarious, this idea that some of them can do things that just alter the infrastructure forever. Like, I get that ice melts and doesn't stay there, but if that is fully natural ice, it is gonna, like, expand cracks in
I
sidewalks.
almost beat this perfectly. I'm so frustrated. I
Yeah,
was
you
like,
got so close.
I got so close!
Maybe you'll get an S rank anyway.
That would be nice.
I was gonna say, but you know what you do? If you just pour ice along, you know, like buildings and things, you expand cracks and you find micro crevices and everything all over the place.
Ice is so destructive. Like, people underestimate ice all the time. Let alone it hurts a lot of people just because, you know, you walk on it and then you fall on your ass. And it's kind of the end of everything.
So if Todoroki was not a nice person, he could just put ice everywhere. Like if he was Bakugo, basically, and you switch their personalities, he could just everyone walks out of their dorm room and immediately swing on the ice.
Can you imagine
Bakugo's personality with Todoroki's powers? It'd be a mess. It'd be a nightmare. Of course, his dad would have something more to work with, I guess. Going, your anger, let me try and channel it somewhere.
I do, but
at least you're doing something. Okay, suddenly you have Endeavor just babysitting, constantly trying to trace down, you know, Bakugo, you know, with his, you know, with his powers.
Right.
And going, I'm trying to rein you in all the time, and you're just burning and freezing everything.
I wonder, honestly, though, if Endeavor wouldn't have liked the crap out of it, to be perfectly honest.
Like I said, it would depend on whether or not he could point it where he wanted it to go, but he would be like, at least you're, one, using it, and two, you've got initiative.
Yeah.
Oh, X plus
you
Ultras.
use all these characters' move lists for details on how to trigger them. So everybody's got a different thing. All right, now it's my friend's turn. Oh no, you got three. Oh, you gotta pick one of three.
All right. So if I click this, then I gotta pick who to do it with.
Who do you want to play with? Deku, Todoroki, or?
I don't know, but apparently we can run Stain's bandana with his eyeballs still in it, and that creeps me out a little bit. I'm gonna try Todoroki. I've never played him. So I might be really bad at this, but the fact that the bandana has the eyeballs in it makes me a little uncomfortable. Like
Ida's face. Ida's face?
My friend is
That's terrified. Like,
here, let me hand you this Ninja Turtle bandana with eyeballs in it.
Yay! They come with optic nerves and everything, and they jiggle slightly.
Go ahead, put it on. What? And the optic nerves will fuse into your eyeballs, and you'll just be able to see.
You have double eyeball. Hey, that's what happens when you put on glasses, right?
Pop. Double eyes. Now you're really four eyes. Oh god. Pop.
On. Honestly, I love the fact that people are like, you call it four eyes, but I'd be like, dude, I finally have two eyes. Shut the fuck up.
Yay! Just two.
Because I can't see without them. What do you want me? Oh no, you have four eyes now. No, what I have is actually have eyes.
Okay, this just feels so much like. Go home and rethink your life choices!
I mean, yeah, that's kind of what I remember actually mildly getting really wobbly about this part. Because I felt so bad for Iida. Like, I will say, I thought his choice was stupid.
But he was being reckless out of
pain.
But
it was a way that I understood him being stupid. Like, this actually I thought was well constructed for him doing this. Like, I felt it kind of thing. But I've had instances of watching the show where there've been some choices people have made and I've gone, I do not feel you. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah, sometimes people make choices and you're like, that just sounds like a dumb choice. But when they have a clear motivation for a dumb choice, it feels so much more like a genuine character experience.
Right.
And you don't go, well, that was dumb for either plot reasons or whatever. You just go, okay, dude, my bro, I understand you, but why? And that feels like a way better emotion to me.
Yes, like that's the thing. Actually, sometimes I've seen people going, "Why in the world is that character doing that thing?" And it's like because you're the one who can see it. The character cannot. They're trying to give you the anticipation, you the fear, while the character cannot see what's going on.
Yeah, you've got the big
Now,
picture.
it's a trap I totally fall into all the time because I get frustrated watching basically where the story is holding your hand and showing you the bad stuff that's going to happen when the character keeps walking down the hall kind of thing towards the monster that they can't see but you can, basically.
Right, and you're going, you should know it's there!
And they're like, no, the whole point is that they cannot see it. And so you give them some sympathy. And him with his, why does he have screws?
That's just the earring. Earrings can look like whatever they want.
Earrings can totally look like whatever they want.
Honestly, he just so determined right there.
I really did. I was like, dang it, Iida. Also, the thing is that I liked Iida a lot. I think Iida, in a lot of ways, for me, was kind of like relatable or understandable more.
No nose.
No nose.
All, whatsoever.
None can nose.
Like zero. That is his composition. That is his anatomy.
This is him. He's a remote.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh, and I get sidekicks. Oh,
yes,
wow.
Now you have two of them. So it's
sidekicks. That's fine.
It's this one down here in the bottom. Which I don't know why they can't just be like it's the bottom, of the L, but I guess it would be faster to say that rather
Come on, you can use these things.
Yes,
do it.
Yes, murder.
Do it. There's got to be one that uses, it was a bitch slap. That was an ice bitch slap.
Good
That
job.
was amazing.
Ice slap.
That was ice slap. Oh.
Ice slap in the eye today. Everybody die today.
Come on.
Todoroki, go on, baby. Everybody ice slap.
There's got to be a way
baby.
to do it where it is both fighter
that just
and
at all like how they had it in the anime 1, which they can't really do because it would take up the whole screen and they needed to go away because you're still in a
legs in a building.
fight.
Yes.
But
I love
like,
how you
dang.
can just change gravity and get up on a wall if you do it right.
That's so much
Ow.
fun, but
Ow.
also literally makes no sense. And do you know why? Because nobody here has the power of running on
walls.
buildings.
I know, right?
Like, okay, so one of the things that's
Ow.
bothered me a lot about My Hero Academia is they're very explicit and very clear, going, everybody has powers that only do this. And then everybody can take basically the force of a truck slamming into you.
Yes.
And you're kind of like...
And they can all jump like 3 times their own height.
Right, and you're kind of like, dude,
How
but
does that
bro,
work?
how? And then also going, these are the powers of a frog. And then everybody just sort of stares at you in a strange way and goes, that's what frogs do?
Like, powers of a frog are to be able to wrap your tongue around something and carry
And
it with
direct
you
it, yeah.
prehensilely, like next to you in the air.
And I can just
Isn't that more
casually blop out my stomach,
I'm-
interact with my stomach fluids, and also just my stomach.
Okay, well, some frogs can do that. They
No,
bounce
no,
around.
but I mean,
was
like,
gonna say,
play with it.
However, I'm just like, this experience of you
Yes.
behaving
Yes,
like
right.
your frog tongue is an elephant trunk.
Tongue-kitty trunk.
Like, so your frog tongue is
Hey, baby.
behaving like an elephant
I got my
trunk, which is not how that
trunk.
works. That was a really interesting under the butt shot at the back.
Aye, that was a little impressive. Hello,
Like-
Deku Booty.
Alright.
Blah, la, la, la,
Thank
la, la, la.
you. Burst!
Burst!
I will burn out my
Burn!
engines. Okay, so I've always found Iida a little bit uncomfortable because his quirk is, you evolve into engine and grow engine inside your body. But then they also have a garage to upgrade, so they can basically do mechanical surgery on themselves regularly and upgrade their quirk
So-
mechanics, which sounds so weird to me.
I remembered actually at one point, and you're gonna have to forgive me, you guys, since I haven't really read the manga, but there is a point where somebody talks about it, where somebody, like, I guess in his family,
Yeah.
it might have even been like his brother or something before, where they literally really did just like rip out the engine pieces that were in the leg and then reinstalled other pieces. And I'm like, you just
And his
just
brother
getting some, and you're bleeding
has a
everywhere.
garage,
Uh-huh.
and they do all these like organic, mechanically organic upgrades.
And you feel a little bit like you're in Mad Max, and it's okay, except
And-
it's not okay, and you kind of
All
want to
right,
cry.
so
Now we're gonna go to the next one.
I got
watch a
2
video.
out of 3. All right, so I'm gonna hand the controller over, and we'll watch a video together.
Yes!
And then we'll see if we have time for anything else.
We are transported to the general hospital to be treated for our injuries and get yelled at.
Because we
by
made a dumb
dog.
choice.
I mean, reasonably, but also again by the cops.
We
The
made a
cops yelling at
reasonably
the
dumb
cops.
choice.
Though I will say another thing that I think is interesting actually about this game in reference to them being celebrity cops, the hero kids learning how to be a celebrity cop anyway,
Yeah.
is that they get more education and more schooling than most cops will ever get in their entire lives in relation to being on
So
the force.
our American cop program is like 3 months of training, and they get like an entire high school worth of training.
Yeah, which is amazing and impressive and
On the
whoa.
other hand, your civilian cops, which are the ones in the blue uniforms in here,
Which
probably get
might-
very different training.
Yes, which creates a basically division that really could cause some issues.
Right.
Based off of what I understand, Hero Killer
I
Stain.
love that they use the whole thing every time. It's not Stain, it's not Killer Stain, it's Hero,
Hero
Killer,
Killer
Stain.
Stain, right? They're like, we can't.
Where you just like Hero Killer Stain? You mean Hero Killer Stain? You mean City of Magic, Magic City? It's Magic
Yes.
City, City of Magic. Yeah, Magic City. No, City of
Of
Magic.
Magic.
Hero Killer Stain. Sorry.
Hero
Anyway,
Killer Stain, and then
there's the good dog.
except he sort of still did admonish you.
Oh, no, I know.
And I'm like, were you trying to give them like little beans, toe beans on his foot, and couldn't decide if on his paws if he had toe beans or not?
Yeah, they kind of have a thing going on with the hands where they weren't really sure what to draw, but toe beans would have been freaking cool.
Except-
It's fine though, not required.
I
So,
know.
though, so there you are. No
Yeah, see, he
type
does
structure.
have a nose.
But at the same time, they don't really draw him as though it's actually there when the mask is on.
Which is
It goes away
weird.
when the mask is on, then comes back when the mask is off. Pep!
Oh, it's a part of his quirk.
On the other
Honestly,
hand-
that is one thing that I have found to be kind of irritating still. It's just being like, it's part of your quirk when it's not a part of your quirk, and then it is a part of your quirk.
Whenever
it's okay.
we
I
feel
understand
like
it's a
it.
thing that can be difficult to keep track of. And like, you gotta give one dude a lot of credit for doing
said
it on his
Toshinori.
own. And
Nobody
yes,
ever uses his name.
except him.
I know. Ah, he's so
Oh,
sad.
he's terrified.
Also,
I still don't think it's funny.
I don't either.
Yeah, because he is your son. He has
Yeah.
become, you are dead, Mike, now.
And going, by the way, All Might, I understand that you're not a teacher and have never known how to teach and you don't know how to mentor to a mentee. Mentor to a mentee. But you better do it. I do like this comic book convention though. The structure with the panels is pretty
It's
fun.
kind of fun. Honestly, so speaking of like structures that include this sort of convention. I actually really liked it out of the Hulk.
Okay.
Or it was just called Hulk. Or it might have been like the Incredible Hulk. I have both of them, so you're gonna have to forgive me.
Okay.
So there was a version of the Hulk movies that came out a while ago. That I believe it's the one that had Edward Norton in it, if I remember correctly. But it's the one that everybody threw the fit about, going, it's got giant poodles in it and shit, you know. And I was like, for me, I went, who cares if he's got daddy issues? He's at least got interesting daddy issues, I guess.
It's just a character
You
trait.
know?
I don't know anything about this. I'm not connected
It's
to
okay.
it, but it's okay.
But it was fun because they actually do have like comic book panels, basically, that shift around in the movie. And I thought it was really a cool convention. Like they were trying to go, here's panels from the comic. And it was
there it
fun.
is.
And people complained about it. And I was like, aw, but I like it. And here's this guy.
And they assume so much knowledge in this game. Like, you really have to have had the first 2 seasons of the show. Otherwise,
Can you imagine getting this and you hadn't seen this?
and
This
this
would
is your
be
first
such
like,
a...
who is Shimura? Who is Toshinori? Who are you talking to? And who are these people?
So
Yeah.
Nana Shimura, if you guys don't know, and we're going to spoil all this for everyone. So again, if you haven't played or watched, please go put yourself up to date, or just spend time with us anyway. But Nana Shimura is actually was All Might's teacher. His first teacher that he actually referred to her in one of the comics as basically being his mom.
Because he's an orphan.
As far as we can tell, he seems to be some type of orphan, or again, he might secretly then have been like, no, actually, I had a family all along, and it was fine. And I'm like,
But I
that would be
disowned
weird.
them. It's fine.
Oh, we
Anyway,
have another video. We can do another one.
Sure,
It's
let's
fine.
do
We
it.
have more time. Let's do it. Come on. we
video
got time.
after video after video.
Well, we're trying to establish things because we were just finding out about Nana.
It's true.
I really am, though, kind of sad about it. But I will have to say, so based on the developments that seem to be going on in the comic, I'm kind of... I suppose it's because I'm cynical, but I'm kind of annoyed that Deku has picked up multiple quirks now
My
with
friend.
All for One.
Cynical? Never.
Or One for All, excuse me.
Yeah. Okay,
With
so
Wall-
I actually kind of have lost interest after a while. Like, the parts of the show that I was really interested in stopped being the focus of the show / the manga. And I haven't read as much of the manga, but I understand that from the news, I understand that they follow fairly closely. Now, I could be wrong, but that is the source I have. And the parts of the show that were in the first season and what I cared about did not continue to be the focus of it, so I started to lose a little bit of interest.
Yeah, it's actually what killed both of us in regards to this. It's actually also why I only own
The first season.
just one season, which is the first one. Yeah.
And it got really frustrating to me when there was a lot of hypocritical behavior.
Yes.
And so for me, it was this experience of going, to me, both All Might and Midoriya are very hypocritical,
Yes.
preaching one thing and doing
Doing
another
another.
thing. And I can break that down slowly over time, but primarily it comes down to Midoriya saying, I respect you and admire you more than anything in the world, and then I'm going to aggressively misuse your power with poor long-term planning to the point of there may no longer be any One for All if I get myself killed or disabled as a child before I've even had 1 year out the gate. And you've been doing this for what, 30 years?
I'm sorry, I'm distracted by the panel going, where is that from? My brain is distracted.
It's
I
okay.
apologize.
You're fine.
No, it was actually really irritating and frustrating in that
So
way
that's what
because they are
bothers me.
hypocritical. Like, solidly.
And I get the whole, but this is him intensely wanting to help people, and I'm like, from a realistic, real-life perspective,
Which
he
sounds
has to
dumb to
have-
apply to to a story, I admit, because
the writer can just go, well, it's going to work out for him.
Yeah.
Because what would this story be like if you had Midoriya misuse himself as a kid? Before he even finishes high school, he's permanently disabled and can no longer use One for All, and that's it. He has
And that's
to
the end of the
pass
story.
it. But if he does pass it, he will essentially die.
Yeah.
And going, that was his story.
That was all we
that
had.
would be suck as hell. Now he tells you at the beginning
That he's gonna
that's
win.
not going to happen.
Yeah.
He tells you in the way they do of children's stories, going, I am going to become the greatest hero ever. So all of your tension of he's going to be damaged permanently, of he might die doing this, of he might lose the use of his arm and it will change his career forever. The weight of that goes away a lot.
Yeah, it really honestly does.
However, we
And
still
it's-
always fear for All Might's life constantly.
Which is constantly a thing that they really like to do too.
Be afraid for his
Be
life.
afraid
Okay.
for his life.
So one thing that made me super, super sad when we were just practicing and we were just trying the characters in the one-on-one player battles before we started this record is sometimes when you beat All Might, he coughs. And it just makes me so sad because you know he's hurting, you know he's a mess, and then you have someone like, I just was Midoriya and beat the shit out of you until you were coughing and in pain and going to basically power down. And I'm like, That doesn't make me a happy pinata.
That makes me an uncomfortable pinata. Okay, well, thank you very much, guys, then, for joining us for this episode.
Yeah.
If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And please also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi or our Patreon. If you'd like to support us, if you'd like to sponsor us, or just like to tip us because we're filled with fabulousness and you know it. But other than that, I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies.
And it was great playing with you.
Bye!